Well, yesterday was a day of hilarity in the online space. Elon Musk arrived at the Twitter headquarters carrying an actual literal sink. He tweeted, "Let this sink in." I gotta say, like, the fact that Elon Musk is somewhere between an Atlas Shrugged character and a Bond villain is really one of the great things about American economic life these days. Here's what that video sounded and looked like. You can actually see Musk walking in. Laughing with everybody carrying in the sink. No one knows what's going on. Pretty spectacular stuff. He then tweeted out that he was meeting some wonderful people at Twitter, and I can only hope that that means that all the people he is not meeting, he is going to fire. The reason that it makes rather a large difference whether Elon Musk comes in, there's some economic reasons why it will be good for Twitter, and then there are some actual reasons why it will be good for the United States of America. On an economic level, one of the reasons it might be good for Twitter is because Twitter, as far as I'm aware, has never run a profit. I'm not aware that Twitter is actually a money-making machine. And you can see why. A video was put out by one of the Twitter employees showing what a day in their life is like. And let me just say, it looks like a vacation spa. It looks like nobody does any work around there, and they all sit around playing foosball all day. Here is a video from one of the Twitter employees not all that long ago, a day in the life of Twitter.
As a Twitter employee. So this past week went to SF for the first time at a Twitter office, badged in. Honestly, took a moment to just soak everything in. What a blessing. Also started my morning off with an iced matcha from the perch. Then I had a meeting, so quickly scheduled one of these little pod rooms, which were so cool. They're literally noise canceling. Took my meeting, got ready for lunch. Look how delicious this food looks. Oh my goodness, I was so overwhelmed. Then made my way down to this log cabin area. I don't know what this is, but it was really cool. Played some foosball with my friends to kind of unwind a bit. Went to the library to kind of get some more work done. Obviously,
so there's that. That's great. Now, by the way, it should be noted that the Twitter price to earnings ratio has been historically extraordinarily out of whack because Twitter has virtually no revenue, but it has a worth that is very, very, very high. And so what that means is that they've been blowing through money like nobody's business. Well, that is just one of the many tech companies that have been essentially propped up by an easy money policy that has been followed for the past several years. It's not just Twitter, of course. The New York Times reporting today that Google this week reported a steep decline in profits. Social media companies like Meta said that advertising sales have rapidly cooled off. Microsoft predicted a slowdown through at least the end of the year. Tech companies led the way for the U.S. economy over the past decade and buoyed the stock market during the worst days of the COVID pandemic. Now, amid stubborn inflation and rising interest rates, even the biggest giants of Silicon Valley are signaling tough days may be ahead. The companies are navigating the same problems as the rest of the economy, pumped up by the aggressive consumer spending during that pandemic. They invested to keep up with demand. Now, as the spending is slowing, they are trying to adjust, and it has not been easy. And it shouldn't be easy, frankly, because a lot of these companies don't actually earn the monies. Okay, there are certain companies, like Meta, where Facebook actually earned an enormous amount of money from advertising revenue. But if you're looking at Twitter, what exactly is the investment priority over at Twitter? How do they even make their cash? Nobody seems to understand this business. Well, Musk, having now paid well over market value for Twitter, is going to have to actually bring people into line. We'll get to more on this in just one second. First, in an economy as volatile as this one, it's important to have control when you're making a big purchase, like, a brand new car. And this is where my new partners over at Carzing come into play. Carzing is completely changing the way you can buy a car online. An online car shopping website with millions of listed vehicles, Carzing works with over 25,000 dealers nationwide to help you find your dream car. By partnering with credit agencies, lenders, and dealerships, Carzing provides you with everything you need before you set foot into a dealership. Their mission is to make auto financing quick and easy while providing a modern, hassle-free way of shopping for cars. Their innovative technology and financial tools provide customers with the ability to instantly pre-qualify online without affecting your credit score. Plus, you can search for vehicles with instant financing details, including down payment, monthly payment, term, and APR. Once you find your dream car at your ideal budget, all you have to do is bring your saved deal voucher with you to the dealership and finalize your next ride. Carzing offers transparency to the max. You know your purchasing options before you ever set foot into the dealership. That makes the whole process a lot more convenient and enjoyable. Visit carzing.com/Ben today. Skip the guesswork. Find the best deals near you. That's carzing.com/Ben. Carzing.com/Ben. Well, the funniest thing about all of this is all of the Twitter employees shrieking at the sky over Elon Musk going to the Twitter headquarters and taking over. He also, by the way, changed his biographical description on his Twitter profile to Chief Twit and added his location as Twitter HQ. Leslie Berland, the chief marketing officer for Twitter, tweeted out, Elon is in the SF office this week meeting with folks, walking the halls, continuing to dive in on the important work y'all do. If you're in San Francisco and see him around, say hi. Well, this follows hard on a bunch of Twitter employees issuing a letter to Elon Musk and the board of directors. And I gotta say, the entitlement mentality of so many people in the tech sector is truly astonishing. Maybe they should go learn to code if Elon Musk fires them. Quote, we, the undersigned Twitter workers, believe the public conversation is in jeopardy. Elon Musk's plan to lay off 75% of Twitter workers will hurt Twitter's ability to serve the public conversation. A threat of this magnitude is reckless, undermines our users' and customers' trust in our platform, and is a transparent act of worker intimidation. Wait. So if I buy a company and I decide that 75% of you are useless, that's worker intimidation? Well, I mean, I feel like all workers should be slightly intimidated that they might do their job if they are useless and not adding to the bottom line productivity of the company. And again, Twitter's price earnings ratio was just a couple of months ago at like 160, which is insane. I actually took their market cap and I divided that out, and it looks like my company here at Daily Wire may earn more on a yearly basis than Twitter does. Twitter has significant effects on societies and communities across the globe, say the workers. As we speak, Twitter is helping to uplift independent journalism in Ukraine and Iran, as well as powering social movements around the world. So what exactly were their demands? They actually made demands of the person who just bought their company and will presumably put them on the breadlines. Quote, we demand Elon Musk explicitly commit to preserve our benefits, those both listed in the merger agreement and not, e.g. remote work. So we insist that you allow us to continue to work not from the office. We demand leadership to establish and ensure fair severance policies for all workers before and after any change in ownership. We demand dignity, transparent, prompt, and thoughtful communication around our working conditions. We demand to be treated with dignity and to not be treated as mere pawns in a game played by billionaires. Sincerely, Twitter workers. Single sad tear for the Twitter workers. It's so sad. You demand to not be treated as pawns by the people who sign your paycheck. That's called being an employee. It's not being a pawn. It's not you're paid for your job. If you don't do your job, you're going to go away. That is what's happening here. And it is truly amazing to hear people who are paid to work at Twitter complain that they are pawns in game of life, like Mongo from Blazing Saddles. And the reality is that for everybody who uses Twitter, many of us feel as though we are pawns in the hands of a vengeful group of petty and ridiculous gods in San Francisco who determine whether or not your freedom of speech will simply be rejected. At any random moment, if you say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, your account could just disappear into the ether. It's happened to libs of TikTok about 7 times at this point. The Babylon Bee is still suspended for noting that men are not women and women are not men. And really, this isn't about Elon Musk taking over Twitter and running it like a business. What this is really about is they're angry at Elon Musk's vision of free speech. Now, Elon Musk does not believe that there is no Overton window. Presumably, Elon Musk will still have policies on violence and harassment, even after he takes over Twitter. But what Elon Musk believes, it seems, is that as many voices as possible should be heard, and that the best recipe for a very, very bad voice is for everybody to basically get to sound off on that very bad voice. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We will get into Herschel Walker's, the latest allegations against him. We'll also get into Kathy Hochul, a governor I think is actually particularly vulnerable in New York, saying that she would fire unvaxxed workers again, even though a court just told her that she couldn't. If you're not a member, click the link in the description and join us.